Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chef Lee, and welcome to this lesson on recipe conversions. Before we start, let's review some culinary terminology. The yield is the amount by volume, weight, or piece a recipe will produce. To scale means to increase or decrease the amount a recipe will produce. And finally, conversion factor. Conversion factor is a number we will use to scale up or down the recipes. In order to determine the conversion factor, we need to know our required yield, or the amount of food we wish to produce, and also the given yield, or the yield of the current recipe we are working with. To use a simple example, we have a recipe for 20 blueberry muffins. The 20 represents the given yield. If we wish to create or make 40 blueberry muffins, that is our required yield. So using simple division, we can determine our conversion factor by dividing our required yield by the given yield. For our example, we are dividing 40 by 20, giving us a conversion factor of 2. Now that we've determined our conversion factor, we simply take that number and multiply it by the amount of each ingredient in the recipe. So for example, with the muffins, the flour, sugar, salt, blueberries, and fat would all be multiplied by a factor of 2. One thing to note, when scaling down recipes, you will be multiplying by a factor less than 1. So, for example, scaling from 40 to 20 would be multiplying by a factor of 0.5. In addition, it's important your calculations are correct to ensure the desired outcome. Always use a calculator and round to the second decimal point where applicable. So that's our introduction to recipe conversion. In our next lesson, we'll discuss recipe development. Until then, eat well.